Hello, guys, back again with another YouTube podcast. As promised, this is the Game Week 1 review show of the game that took place over the weekend. And the Premier League certainly didn't disappoint this weekend with 31 goals in it, so many incidents, red cards, shock results, penalties, headers, everything. It had the lot. It was a great spectacle for the neutral, and after 3 months, it was totally worth the wait. So for this show, I'm joined again with Zaki, and he's going to give his input on what he made of the first week of the games. So we're going to basically go through the each game and discuss the key talking points, key decisions, tackles, things like that, and just get our verdict on what happened in the games. So we start off on the Friday night game between Arsenal and Leicester City, a game which for Arsenal in the past, the opening day has always been a bit of a bogey because we usually have lost on the opening day so many times. We've lost to Liverpool last year 4-3. The season before, we lost 2-0 to West Ham. A few seasons back, we lost to Aston Villa 3-1 on the opening day. So it was something of trying to get the voodoo over. And to be honest, it was a struggle, but we managed to get over the line. And Zach, you watched the game. What did you make of the Arsenal Leicester City game?
The Arsenal Leicester City game. It was a really enticing game, and I say both teams, it was end to end, and it kind of brewed up to be a good game because defensively both teams, they were really fragile, but in moments you could tell that both teams, they weren't used to the intensity of the Premier League, and as a result there was loads of goals. Like Arsenal, they thought they were in the running to win the game, and then Leicester, they scored, and then it was just like, I think it was like 2-1, and then went to 3-2 to Leicester, and then Arsenal came back all the way back and like spectacularly won the game with a Giroud header. And it's that man to save the day for Arsenal again. So Seth, what do you make of Giroud as an Arsenal striker? And do you reckon he pairs up well with Lacazette?
That's a great question. Giroud, I've always rated the striker. In my opinion, he's one of the most underrated strikers in the Premier League. He always gets minimum 20 goals a season. He's not going to win you the league. He's not world class, but he'll get you the goals. And again, he proved that on Friday night when at the time you were struggling 3-3, and there would have been a lot of pressure if we drew that game. So for him to come up with a winner like he has done so often, it was just brilliant to see.
Yeah, he's got that stat. He's got a stat that when he's from the 80th minute to the 90th minute, he scored 21 goals. I'm sure that's vital, like especially in the big games, to have a player like that, like who can finish the ball with one chance. He's like almost eye of the needle stuff, like the way he scores the goals. So yeah, it's really good times for Arsenal. But I say in the defensive area, they need to sweep up, and they need to practice their man marking and defensive skills.
So moving on to the game against Watford Liverpool, the Saturday lunchtime game. This was a really interesting game. A lot of people have written Watford to go down this season, but every year they manage to hold their horn and play pretty well. And they had a tough test in Liverpool with the signings of Salah and Mane. And Watford took the lead through Okaka from a corner kick in the 8th minute. And then Liverpool managed to come back through goals from Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, and Roberto Firmino. And then there's a controversial goal right at the end for Watford, which gave them a 3-3 draw. And what do you think? What did you make of the game, Jackie?
What did I make of the game? I say Liverpool, again, they were like Arsenal. They were very shaky. You could tell they weren't used to the Premier League, and they were conceding goals, like easy goals that could have been stopped if they had more experience in the season. I say Liverpool, they obviously their front three men, Salah, Mane, and Firmino, they both all got on the score sheet. That's really good signs for Liverpool. But the defensively, they need to really like get a player, need to buy a player in the transfer market in order to go for the title. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a really top game for Liverpool versus Watford, and it was kind of even. Both teams, they did have, obviously Liverpool had more shots, but Watford, they did threaten Liverpool, and it was a fair game, 3-3. So yeah, the next game, it was the 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, Chelsea versus Burnley. The score was 3-2 to Burnley. What do you make of that game?
Um, this has to be the top result of the weekend. Burnley going away to Chelsea. Not many teams win at Stamford Bridge, and Burnley to come away to be leading 3-0 at half time was a major shock. I don't think anyone saw that coming. And yeah, through goals through Sam Vokes, a brilliant goal from Ward, and another goal for Vokes, another header. Chelsea showed signs of coming back into the game in the second half. One positive for them, Alvaro Morata, his headed goal, that would give him some confidence. And plus, he got an assist for the second goal in David Luiz.
Yeah.
So they lost the game 3-2. So overall disappointment for them, and another major setback in losing their defender, Gary Cahill.
Yeah.
What did you make of the tackle from Gary Cahill?
I don't think I saw that for some reason. I saw the Fabregas red card. That was I think that was a very malicious tackle, going 2-footed. Even though he may have got a slight bit of the ball, I say Fabregas, he deserved his red card, but I didn't see the Cahill red card unfortunately. But yeah, it was a good game. Burnley really shocked everyone. Like, that was a shock result of the weekend. Everyone thought Chelsea were going to comfortably win against Burnley, and they ended up losing and chasing the game in the second half.
Moving on to the next game in Crystal Palace versus Huddersfield. This, another major shock of the weekend, is everyone had Crystal Palace to win this game. The newly promoted team Huddersfield, who everyone said would struggle this season, shocked everyone with a 3-0 win over Crystal Palace. I watched the highlights of the game, and Huddersfield were brilliant. Had so many shots on target, and they look like they've got a really good striker in Mooney up front, who scored 2 goals for them on Saturday. He played really well, scored a brilliant second goal, and it looked like Crystal Palace had a lot of problems in that game. And it's a very good sign for Huddersfield to go and win at Selhurst Park, because Selhurst Park is not one of the easiest grounds to go to. And for them to go and win so convincingly, it's only going to breed confidence and show positivity, shine positivity through their team.
Yeah. So like, what do you make of Huddersfield? How far do you reckon they could go, like, in the season? Like, what position do you reckon the max position they can get to?
To be honest, I'm not going to take much. It was a great performance by them, but really, after it's only one game, we need to judge them after about 14 or 15 games. But I still predict them to go straight back down.
Yeah, but the thing is, they can build on this result, because it was to get 3 goals against a reputable, like, Premier League side like Crystal Palace. They've been here in the Premier League for like a few years now, like 3-4 years. I'm sure that's a really, like, confidence builder for Huddersfield.
Yeah, totally. It's a great result for them, but I just believe after one game, can't really judge them. They need to judge them after about a good 15-20 games. But personally, I feel that they'll be going straight back down.
Yeah. So the next game that was played was Everton versus Stoke. It finished 1-0. Wayne Rooney to get on the score sheet with a bullet header into the top corner. What do you make of that game, the Everton versus Stoke?
To be honest, it was probably one of the, I wouldn't say it was the most boring game of the weekend, because there was another game which was a lot worse. But yeah, that it was written for Wayne Rooney, coming back on his debut to Everton, coming back to his former club, scored a brilliant goal. He played really well in the game as well. So it was worthy that he got his goal, and I think that Rooney's he'll play up front like he did for Everton against Stoke City, and I reckon he's going to have a really good season for Everton.
Yeah. What do you make of the transfer of Rooney leaving Manchester United and going to Everton? Do you reckon it's made out for both parties, Everton and Manchester United? And do you reckon Rooney will have a good future at Everton compared to if he stayed at United?
To be honest, even though it's sad to say, Rooney was a Manchester United great, scored so many goals for them, was unplayable in his early years at Manchester United. I think it was only right for him to move on. I think he knew himself that his time had come at such a great club in Manchester United, and it was time for him to move on to another well-established club in Everton. And I think that he's going to only strive and he'll get the chance to play in his favourite position, which he's always played as centre forward, and I reckon he will score a lot of goals. It just didn't work out for him playing in that defensive midfieldish position for Manchester United.
Yeah, I understand. So on to the next game, which was West Brom versus Bournemouth. Finished 1-0. Hegazi with the goal with a brilliant header. What do you make of that game?
To be honest, I didn't see much of the West Brom Bournemouth game, but before the game, I would have said this would have been a a Bournemouth win with signings such as Jermaine Defoe. I reckon he's going to be a real top. He's always had it in him that he'll get the goals, and I reckon that for Bournemouth, alongside Josh King, Jermaine Defoe will score bags of goals for Bournemouth this season. I reckon he'll get personally 25 goals for Bournemouth this season. But it didn't work out for them, and West Brom got off to a winning start with a 1-0 win over Bournemouth. Not much to say about the game, but yeah, 3 points to the Baggies.
Yeah. Okay. The last game that was played on Saturday was Brighton versus Man City. It was a really close game. Like in the first half, a lot of people may have been shocked by City's performance in the first half, but in the second half, they came back and they produced the goods. They scored 2 goals. One was a goal from Sergio Aguero, a brilliant finish, stunning finish in the bottom corner, and the second one was a bizarre own goal from I think
Done.
Dunn. Yeah, Dunn. It was a really bizarre goal. One where most people thought, why would he even head it like the way he did it?
To be honest, I watched the Brighton Man City game, and I'm really shocked at the fact that it only finished 2-0. The amount of chances Manchester City created in the first half, end of the first half and the second half, it could have been easily 5 or 6-0 to Man City. But Brighton got away with it, and they suffered a 2-0 defeat. I don't see them staying up. They'll have good patches in the season, but there's no shame in losing to Manchester City due to the quality which they have. But yeah, I didn't see enough from Brighton in that game to show me that they'll be capable of staying in the Premier League this season.
Yeah. Do you not think it's a quite difficult like away ground to play at, like for teams like let's say Man United and Arsenal and all the big teams? They could like drop points against Brighton.
That's a good point. That Brighton, the stadium's a really big stadium, holds about 26,000 people.
Yeah.
I reckon, I'm not sure because a lot of big teams have gone there in the past. Arsenal have been there in the past and won pretty convincingly. Manchester United have also. No doubt there'll be a few surprises in there. They will beat a few teams, no doubt. But I don't think that there'll be a major disturbance to the big sides. No.
Yeah. Okay. On to the Sunday games. The game that I want to talk about. But first, we'll start with Newcastle versus Tottenham, which was played at 1:30.
I think we missed one game. I'm not surprised you missed it, but it was the Southampton-Swansea game, which finished 0-0.
Oh yeah. Southampton-Swansea. Yeah, Southampton-Swansea.
It's not the best.
There's nothing to talk about.
Games, to be honest.
Yeah.
No wonder you missed it out. Yeah, a game that really lacked quality. There was no spark there, nothing really. It was a game that before the weekend, a lot of people would have said that would be the board draw of the weekend, and it proved out to be the most boring game of the weekend.
Yeah, I know. It was just a dud, actually, absolute dud of a game. Like, I think our friend Jogi, he also predicted that it was going to be 0-0. And yeah, it made out to be a 0-0 game with nothing to talk about. Yeah, so
moving on to Sunday, the game between Newcastle and Spurs. This game had a lot, not a lot riding on it, obviously, because it's the first game of the season. But I remember Spurs 2 seasons ago when Newcastle were relegated. The last game of the season, Newcastle thrashed Tottenham 5-1 at St James Park. Even though they were relegated, Tottenham missed out on, I think, top 4 due to this. And yeah, so it was a game that was going to produce goals. The first half was pretty boring, to be honest. Nothing major happened in the first half. But the second half was always going to pick up. And straight after the halftime whistle went, John Joe Shelby with a stamp on Dele Alli. What did you make of the red card? Was it a red card for you?
Yeah, I'd say it was really, really petty, and he had no reason whatsoever. It was like almost inexplicable why he'd stamp on Dele Ali. I think he's got a few anger issues, and he's got some problems of himself of his own, like in his private life. He said he's gonna get like a psychologist, like I think a few days ago. He couldn't understand why. There was no reason whatsoever for him to stamp on Dele Ali.
Yeah,
He never did.
he really let his team down, and to make matters worse, 10 minutes later, Dele Alli was put in, and he slotted away to make it wonders to Tottenham.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really brilliant goal from Dele Ali. He looks really bright for the future, for England's future, and for Tottenham's future. That's one player that I could name in Tottenham's team. Him and Harry Kane that are going to be really, really big threats in the future. And
Tottenham were very professional in the performance, and they got the second goal through Ben Davies with a lovely finish into the bottom corner. And that was that, basically. It was always an uphill battle as soon as Newcastle went down to 10 men, and Tottenham with a nice clean sheet and a 2-0 win.
Yeah. So it was a good game. On to the next game, the game that I want to talk about, the one that I was really excited and happy and livid about was Man United West Ham game, which finished 4-0. Saif, as an opposition fan, what do you make of this score, and how big a message did they send out to all the big teams in the Premier League that United they're going to really like show intent to win the Premier League this year?
To be honest, there's a lot of ways in which I viewed the game. A lot of fans could see the 4-0 score and see it as a flattering scoreline. But to me, it was no doubt about it. Manchester United played brilliant. But West Ham was shocking. They had one shot on target in the whole of the game. And it's understandable going to Old Trafford that you're going to be under a lot of pressure. But to only come up with one shot on target, and that was at the end of the first half, is pretty disappointing. So to be honest, I think it's a good result for Man United. Main reason being Lukaku got 2 goals, so massive confidence booster for him. But teams will come to Old Trafford and perform a lot better than what West Ham did. West Ham was shocking. Losing 4-0 away to Manchester United is no disgrace. But the fact you only had one shot on target, there's not much I can read into the game because there was no opposition for Manchester United. West Ham were poor. They played poorly, so I can't. Unless Manchester United play a better side, then you're going to see how Manchester United actually are going to be in the new season. But confidence-wise, you got the job done, and it was a great performance from yourself going forward.
Yeah, I do agree with you. The fact that West Ham didn't really perform to their best ability, but they did have chances, and like you can tell that United were very resilient with Matic and Bailly, and Jones, who were making a lot of tackles and interceptions, which maybe have stopped the game. And United were really controlling the game. They were putting the foot on the cooker basically against West Ham, and you could tell that.
You could say that
West Ham. You could tell West Ham they wanted to score and they were trying their best, but maybe it was a sign of Premier League, like first game Premier League nerves.
Yeah, it could have been that. It didn't look like West Ham were up to full match fitness, which is pretty bad to say, seeming that you should be ready for the first game of the season. But to be honest, I watched the whole game, and the only shot they had was Andre Ayew at the end of the first half, straight at David De Gea. So to be honest, apart from that, I don't recall any of the shot they had. So no doubt Manchester United will be tested a lot more than what they were against West Ham.
Yeah. Well, as I say, we were overshone by the midfielders of West Ham. They were really overshone by United's midfield. Like Pogba and Matic were really controlling the game, like from the get-go. And yeah, as a result, Lukaku was able to get 2 goals. His first was a brilliant finish, stunning finish, and the second was a header in the bottom right corner. Do you reckon Lukaku, he could have gone to get a hat-trick? And do you reckon that's something he'll regret? Or do you reckon he's really, really satisfied and he's really happy with his day?
It's not always easy scoring on the Premier League debut. But surprisingly, we saw this weekend that a lot of the major signings that have come in, Lacazette managed to score on his debut, Morata scored on his debut, and Lukaku scored 2 on his debut. I don't think he'd be disappointed with the fact that he didn't get the hat-trick. The hat-trick would have been a bonus. He did have chances for it, but 2 goals, I think he'll be more than pleased with that.
Yeah. And also, do you reckon like Lukaku, he's either missing a piece in the jigsaw puzzle for United, to basically win the title, because United, they drew a lot of games last year, even with Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Do you reckon Lukaku, he's a finishing piece in Man United attack to get United to win the Premier League this year? And do you reckon we'll be able to rack up the points in order to win the Premier League?
There's two points on that which I'd like to make. The first being, I think the key to you, if you want to have a successful title running, is we have to see the best of Paul Pogba this season. No complaints. He has to show it. He's worth 89 million. He's had a first season which was bad, and this season he has to show it. If he gets the assist to Lukaku, no doubt United will score a lot of goals, because Lukaku is a proven goal scorer, and he'll do that. And the other factor being, you're in the Champions League, so it'll depend on how you fare in the Champions League, depending on your league form. So that could be a bit iffy, because the Champions League will take a lot out of the squad, and plus Lukaku won't be able to play every single game. So you'll have to have other strikers that are willing to bang the goals in as well.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you make of Paul Pogba? His finishing goal, like it was like the cherry on the cake, basically, for United. And do you reckon he's really showed to the doubters that his true ability to perform and score goals, also I'd like to note Anthony Martial for making an impact to United. As soon as he came on, he scored a goal, then he assisted. What do you make of his performance and Paul Pogba?
Yeah, basically West Ham had basically given up the game at 2-0. Anthony Martial came and gone. There's a nice cool finish from him, made it 3-0. I'm sorry, but the fourth goal for Paul Pogba, Joe Hart should be saying that. It was directly in the middle of the goal. I don't know how he didn't save it. It wasn't
in the bottom right.
It was in the bottom corner. If you look
it
at
exactly there, but it was like more.
If you look at it again, it curls back into the middle of the goal. And I don't know how he didn't save that, but it's good for Pogba. But again, you can't really judge. It's his first game of the season. He needs to do it more consistently. And if he does, then there's no doubt about it that Man United will be a strong force this year.
Yeah. What do you think about Mourinho's impact once he became manager of Manchester United? I reckon he's really made a positive impact on Manchester United, and reckon will be in the running for more trophies with Jose Mourinho in charge than previous managers.
No doubt about it. As much as I hate the guy, he's a great manager. And yeah, you've made additions to your side. You've spent so much money. There's really no reason why you shouldn't be challenging. You've brought players like Mkhitaryan, Lukaku for 70 million, Pogba 89 million, Lindelof, Martial. You're basically trying to do what City did and buy the Premier League. But yeah, there's no reason why. A lot of debate has been that you've been rebuilding for the past few years. A lot of people have accepted that. But the fact that you've now spent so much money, there's no reason why you shouldn't be challenging.
Yeah, to be honest, the signings that Mourinho have made, they have improved the squad. You can't doubt that as a opposition fan. That's one thing. See some other players they bought, it's kind of been like a waste of money almost. They've just blowed their cash and just wasted their cash. But Mourinho, you can tell he only buys players that are going to improve the squad, and that's what he's done. And that's why this team looks really strong and maybe favourites to win the Premier League title.
Only time will tell about who's going to, after 10, 15 games, like every season, get a good idea into who's going to maybe win the Premier League season. But you can't really take much from the Premier League after the first week. It was a great weekend of football. Really enjoyed it. A lot of goals, a lot of talking points, a lot of headed goals, surprisingly. And quite a few shock results as well. So game week 2 will be starting again, obviously, this Saturday. And my review show for this game week will probably take place on Thursday or Friday. So I hope you guys tune in for that. And I'll be giving my review show on that on Thursday or Friday. Hope you enjoyed the show, guys. Thanks again to Zaki for coming on. And it's been a great show.
No worries, man. Anytime.
Thank you.